My name is Sherri Kauker. I'm a resident of Bellingham, and I'm a realtor with Realty Executives Tri-County. And today I'm also pleased to be this month's host of Strictly Business, presented by the Bellingham Business Association. The BBA is a nonprofit organization that supports local businesses and gives back to the community that it serves by striving to build a better community through business. Today's guests are Ron Beaulieau of R&R Landscaping and J.R. Edick of Blackstone Valley Irrigation and Oil. Together, Ron and J.R. are looking forward to opening the Bellingham Nursery and Garden Center in the spring, which will be at the former Schaefer Nursery location on South Main Street. Welcome, Ron and J.R.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Before speaking with our guests, I'd like to give you a brief recap of the last BBA meeting held on December 7th at Vercelli's Restaurant, which was the BBA's annual holiday party. Once again, we enjoyed delicious food, great company, and fun Yankee Swap gifts to celebrate and share the holidays together. We would like to thank everyone for their generous donation of toys and food to help local families in need. The BBA was also pleased to give bottles of wine to each guest and would like to extend a big thanks to Selectman Mike Soder of the Father's Table for the delicious cheesecakes he presented to the guests. The monthly BBA meetings are generally held on the third Wednesday of the month at a local establishment from 6 to 8 p.m. The meetings feature guest speakers presenting topics of interest to local businesses. The meetings include dinner as well as a time for networking together. So I'd like to lead into our segment today. Thanks to Ron and JR for being with us during this segment of Strictly Business, again sponsored by the Bellingham Business Association. I'm going to jump right into some questions so that our viewers can begin learning about you and your businesses. So at first, I'd like to have you tell us a little bit about your backgrounds, how you each got into your business, and how long you've been doing it, and what you love about it. So can we start with you, Ron?
Sure. I started in the landscape field as a sophomore in high school. I worked for Butch Flory and Paul Farrell from Fairway Maintenance through high school. Butch actually was my guidance counselor in school, so he mentored me into this profession. In 1996, I started R&R Landscape, and for the last 15 years, this is what I've been doing. We're a complete landscape service. I really enjoy all aspects of the business, especially working with the people, and from design to construction to installation, and most of all, probably completing the projects and seeing what they look like when they're finished. So.
Great. JR, could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yep, I grew up in town. My mother actually still lives in town. I went through the school system, graduated in 1994. Moved south for a couple of years and then moved back to Bellingham and got into the sprinkler business in 1996. I worked for a company out of Medfield for about 3 or 4 years, and then in 1999 I started Blackstone Valley Irrigation and been going with it ever since. 99 and 2000 were really part-time years, and then 2001 it kind of grew into something that could support me. And then about 3 years ago, tired of plowing snow in the wintertime, decided to get into the oil business as something that was a little bit more steady and something to carry me through the wintertime.
That's great. And I know that, Ron, you do the snow plowing in the wintertime, so I think it's great that you both have that entrepreneurial spirit, that you find something to do in your off-season and keep your businesses going year-round. I also know that you both have joined together for a new venture that you have coming up, so I'd love to have you tell us a little bit about what you have planned for the Bellingham Nursery and Garden Center coming up next year.
Yeah, we hope to open in April of this coming season, Bellingham Nursery and Garden Center at the old Schaefer location. We plan on having nursery stock, annuals, perennials, large caliper trees, from 1 to 5 gallon plant material, and hopefully we'll be allowed to also sell mulch and stone as they did there in the past.
That's great. And this seems like such a natural fit for JRU with the irrigation business and Ron with the landscaping to just kind of branch into that as well and be able to kind of provide your own plant materials perhaps and find some new customers along the way through the garden center. So I'd like to ask you a little bit more in detail about the types of services that you provide, what kind of people or businesses you serve, and how you help your clients, and what makes you different from your competition. So could I start with you, JR?
Yeah, we hope to be a full-service nursery, not like a big box store where you go in, you buy something, you got to plant it yourself. Although we will be offering that same deal, we'll also offer the full service thing where you walk in, you see a large 3 caliber inch tree, but it's not going to fit into your station wagon or caravan or whatever you're driving. So we'll offer a delivery service. We'll offer a service where we can come out, actually deliver it, plant it, if that's what you're looking for. Or if you're the do-it-yourselfer who wants to dig it up and plant it yourself in your own yard, then we'll offer you as much knowledge as we've experienced in our time in the business, with any questions that you may have or ideas. This might look good here or that might look good there, so on and so forth. So that's how we hope to set ourselves different. Besides having top quality stuff, we hope to be able to offer you knowledge and the labor if you need it.
Great. And could you tell us a little bit more about your sprinkler service and how, this question applies to your sprinkler service as well? Yeah,
I mean, typically, anybody who has a sprinkler system knows, as the landscape matures and changes, time from time, you have to move, the sprinkler heads around. Occasionally, when Ron's been planting a tree at a customer's house, he's broken a line or two that, we have to come out and repair. So we hope to be full service, in your yard. Pretty much anything that you may need, from a new walkway to plant material, patio around your pool, heating oil in the wintertime. We want to try and be a one-stop shop for everything that you may need.
That's great. And having worked with both of you personally and professionally, I think I've experienced a wide variety of your services. Being in the real estate business, I've called on both of you to help out my clients, whether it be for snow plowing, sprinkler repair, landscaping, or oil delivery. I know I've recommended you both for all of those services, so that's great that you're just expanding what you have and where your expertise is. Tell me a little bit about who your ideal client would be and what you do to keep them coming back to you year after year. Ron, if you wouldn't mind starting.
Yeah, I just want to briefly go back to the last question for R&R Landscape.
Sorry.
Just so we can cover exactly what we do on the R&R side of the business. We're a complete landscape service. We offer maintenance, construction, excavation, snow plowing and sanding for the winter, both for commercial and residential customers. And we, just try to beautify the properties of this town and the whole community. I think what sets us apart is our professionalism and experience in all the aspects of landscaping. And as far as our ideal client, Our ideal client is one that allows us to take complete control of his property, his or her property, just because we can put plant material in the right places. You know, recommend what needs to be done as far as maintaining. A lot of people think that you can just put a plant in any place in their yard and it's going to do, you know, it's going to come out perfect, and that's not the deal. Certain plants do better in other locations, geographically and in each yard. So we provide a professional service that will, you know, continue working with the customer, not only to the installation process, but, you know, maintaining also.
Well, I can attest that that's been my experience with you. We just worked on a project at my own house, and it was great to have Ron guide us along the way. His vision was excellent, and we weren't really sure what direction we wanted to go, but he was able to end up giving us a product that looks fantastic. And part of what made it really attractive to us was the project management and you being able to coordinate between all the different people that were involved with deliveries and installation and that type of thing. So I can attest to that on a personal basis. Could you both tell me about what kind of opportunities and challenges that you might be facing in today's business climate as opposed to, you know, your past experience?
Well, in both of our past experience, we've kind of, the customers have most of the time come to us, where, you know, they already have an idea of what they're looking for. With the nursery, it's going to be a little bit different. I mean, some people are going to be coming in knowing what they're looking for, but some people are going to come in and, you know, walk around. Maybe they might want just picking up some annuals or something, you know, put a little bit of color in their yard. And hopefully we can, you know, show them the way by designing some displays in our retail area. This might look good with that, or this might look good with this. And then guide them through, you know, the whole process. You know, the soil in their yard might be different. Maybe we have to bring in some better soil so that the plants grow, or maybe it needs water because there's a lot of sun, or you know, just every aspect is what we'd like to do.
Great. Do you have anything you'd like to add to that, Ron?
Yeah, no, I just found, as in the last couple of years, due to the recession, I found people are getting more and more estimates. That, you know, makes everything more competitive, which is, it's good actually for the business. Keeps everybody competitive. But we found that word of mouth is the best marketing tool in the last couple of years, especially, you know, in these times. And our great service to our existing customers is what provides us with work year after year, continuing, you know, through these bad times that we've just passed, and hopefully things are looking better. People, you know, a lot of my customers are building houses again, which they had stopped for a couple of years. So I think we've gotten past the worst, and hopefully the future looks good.
Great. How about, could you each tell us something about your business or your industry that our viewers might not be aware of, such as who or what influences your work, or what type of issues you address that people may not know about?
One thing on my end, on the sprinkler end, it would be water management. As everybody knows, in Bellingham and surrounding towns, with watering bans and you know, restrictions and all that kind of thing to try and keep the water supply going. You know, just little things like adding a rain sensor to the system that actually works and is located in the correct spot, or telling people that, you know, a lot of people just program the timer and leave it alone. Well, you don't really need as much water in the springtime, so you can tone everything back. keeping a nice lawn is no different than keeping nice hair on your head. You have to comb it, you have to have it cut, you have to maintain it. And if you just kind of let it go on its own, it's going to end up looking ratty after a while. Maybe, you know, too much water on the lawn is just as bad as not enough water.
Okay. Do you have something you'd like to add?
Yeah, it's a fact. You know, being a realtor, that the appearance of your landscape, you know, drastically affects the value of your property. In the down economy that we've had the last couple of years, I've been experienced working with not only general contractors, but banks, realtors, investors, people that are trying to clean up a lot of these foreclosed houses. And from the feedback that I've heard, it actually is pretty amazing to myself that you know, you can get about 300% to 400% return on a landscape investment on houses that are either run down or not up to par as far as the landscape, you know. And I mean, we've had neighbors come over and, you know, thank us while we're cleaning up these properties, almost every one, in the last couple of years especially, because a lot of people have lost their homes in Bellingham and the surrounding towns, as we all know. But, you know, to see the difference that these people are getting on the return, you know, 300% to 400%. So, you know, a $5,000 investment can generate $15,000 to $20,000 when they're selling their house. Was you know, eye-opening to me, and I'm in the business.
That's a really good point, especially with housing values being lower than they have been over the past several years. People are looking to get every penny they can back out of their properties, and knowing that they could use landscaping as a tool to increase that value is really good advice. One thing that we didn't talk about that comes to mind is storm cleanup. And certainly we've had some crazy, crazy weather this past summer and fall. So, you know, you didn't talk too much about that, but I know from, again, personal experience that that is another service you offer, and just something for the viewers to keep in mind after especially the crazy windstorm that we experienced last night. So I think our final question is just to let you tell us how they can contact you, how our viewers can contact you if they have further questions or if they're interested in learning more about your services. Ron?
Yeah, they can contact me either in the office. That number is 508-883-9651, or on my cell, which I'm available at all times of the day. Sherri can attest to that. 508-509-9967.
And basically I have the cell phone, which is on me all the time. My number is 508-397-5904. During sprinkler season, it's 7 a.m. to probably 8 or 9 p.m. Oil season, it's about 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Sometimes 10 people call. If you ever don't get me, just leave me a message. I'm either on the other line taking another call, or you know, away for a minute, maybe grabbing dinner or something.
You're allowed to stop and eat?
Yeah, occasionally.
And as far as the oil delivery, you do that on a, is it a Monday through Friday basis, or Monday through Saturday?
During the summertime, it's, you know, 1 or 2 days a week. As it gets cold, it progresses into 6 days a week. This time of year, we run Monday through Saturday. We service Bellingham, Blackstone, Mendon, Millville, Uxbridge, Woonsocket, Cumberland, Upton, Milford, Hopedale. So we service, you know, quite a bit of the surrounding areas. And we're in, you know, Milford, Hopedale, Upton every single day when we're going.
Great. Ron, as far as your services, especially with snow plowing, with the winter upon us, is that generally your territory as well, those same towns?
As far as the snow plowing, I tighten up my range a little bit due to, you know, getting from point A to point B during a storm. So we cover Rentham, Franklin, Bellingham, Blackstone, Mendon. Those 5 towns, and we do it, you know, commercially and residentially.
Great. And then you expand on that territory a bit for your landscaping business.
Yes, yeah.
Because it's easier to get around in the good weather.
Yes.
And you're staying there for a little bit longer than
Right.
you are when you're snow plowing.
Typically.
When you show up at my house at 4 a.m., I'm happy when you go pretty quickly.
It is a 24-hour service that we provide, so most people do like it because obviously they can get out early in the morning.
Very important. Great. Well, with the time remaining, I'd just like to let our viewers know that the next meeting of the Bellingham Business Association will be held on January 25th at Lowell's Restaurant, and that will be our annual business planning meeting. If you own a business in town, or if you live in Bellingham and own a business elsewhere, please join us for business planning, networking, and a great meal. And for more information about the Bellingham Business Association, please visit our website at www.bellinghambusinessassociation.org. We are always looking for new members and would be pleased to discuss membership in our organization with you. And in closing, I'd like to thank Ron Beaulieau of R&R Landscaping and J.R. Edick of Blackstone Valley Irrigation and Oil, as well as the new Bellingham Nursery and Garden Center, which we're looking forward to in the spring. I know it's been something that has been missing from town since Schaefer closed a few years ago, and I personally will look forward to visiting you there. And so thank you for being our guest today, and please stay tuned for another fantastic edition of Strictly Business coming in February. Thank you.
Thank you.